Hi everybody, it's Sandy here in the Rosie Temple in Hampshire in the UK, and it's time again for the new moon rose reading. And so it's just felt that this was the right timing to come on today and to share with you some of the rosy wisdom that the roses have been sharing with me as we've moved through the day today. So I wonder what this new moon has got in store for us. It's a new moon at 26 degrees of Libra, and it's opposite Uranus. So here we've got some really interesting energies starting to shift and move. So these are really interesting times for us to traverse. And new moons, of course, have got that flavour of a new beginning, of a new opportunity for creating change and a new impulse for us in our lives. So, what's been changing for you in this last 2 or 3 weeks? For me, there's just an amazing amount of clearing that's been going on here. Clearing, shredding, letting go of so much of the old patterns and the old stories that we can't take forward. Hi Roberta, happy Thursday. Happy New Moon Thursday as we move through this. So, what is this path of the new moon, giving us the opportunity for? And that's to really see where the movement and the transient nature of everything is external to ourselves, and how we deepen our practice in coming into center, really being able to come into center and be able to anchor ourselves into ourselves. So it's the more I sort of explore this, it really feels like it's yet another pulse point, which is giving us the opportunity to come ever deeper into that connection with ourselves, to that pathway of coming home. As many of you know, I work with the roses very much in working with our inner template and our inner stories, revealing and releasing through the pure love that is embedded into each of the rose codes, that can illuminate for us where we've still got a charge, where we're still holding something at a cellular level in our bodies. And the roses are such a graceful and beautiful way of illuminating that for us, and then letting us have tools for transformation. But the other level of the work that I do with people in their houses, it's like that inner landscape outpictured into our outer temple space, inner temple and outer temple. And sometimes it's easier to see the stories and the patterns that are running when we can see them or have them illuminated for us external to ourselves. Either way, there is a pathway that is being called for that brings us ever deeper home into that deep, deep coming home to ourselves. So, what might the roses have to show for us for this particular reading? So, are you drawn to rose card 1? Are you drawn to rose card 2? Or are you drawn to rose card 3? Excuse me. There's obviously some more clearing that's going on in here. So, if you were drawn to rose card 1, here she is, and she's Rose Angel 2. Now, interestingly, we had a rose group here in the Rosie Temple last evening, and this is one of the roses that came up as part of the process last evening. And she is one of the rose angels. So the rose angels are the transformers of the 5 wounded aspects of the heart field of abandonment, betrayal, denial, judgment and separation. And they transform them. They bring our focus into the jewels of the experience, what we need to harness, to put into the crowns, to illuminate our crowns. And this rose sits on the crown, and she is the transformer of separation to surrender. And so she's calling us to really open to what's new that's coming forward now. You know, I mean, I've had, just in the last 24 hours, I've had 2 quite big jobs that have come forward for me to do. And there is a question that goes on in my mind. It's like, oh my goodness, you know, can I handle that? Can I do that? Can I step forward to that? And what she's saying is surrender into the divine knowledge, the divine wisdom of the path, of the knowingness of source, of our spirit guides, of our absolute heart field guidance that says, yeah, the heart is this attractor factor, and it's going to bring absolutely the right people and the right experiences and the right circumstances for us to blossom, you know, to really shine and be able to take our gifts out into the world. Because that is the time, that's what we're so needing to do now. Honour our story, honour our gifts, honour our wisdom, and then take it out and share it. Share that with the world. You know, we wake people up, we inspire others, and we open the people's hearts one heart at a time as we stand in our own light, as we stand in our own truth, as to this path that we're all on. So she, you know, is got this beautiful gold pink energy at her core, and that for me is so the frequency of the heart field, this whole compassionate place of love and the innate wisdom that comes with the gold. You know, she's just beautiful. Hi, Sass. Hi. Lovely to see you. Yeah, she's just inspiring us to absolutely surrender into the flow of our lives, to be present, to be aware of where there's still energy charge, to be awake to where the triggers are, to be awake to the symbolic aspects of our lives. So a perfect rose for this particular reading. This is a new moon. It's this opportunity just to bring conscious awareness to this shift of time that we're in, this rapid shifting of our own inner matrix. And so, you know, my sense is that this period of time between here and the end of the year, going into 2018, is this perfect opportunity to complete any creative projects that we've got running, anything that's really needing to be completed in this year, so that it's ready to birth as we go into 2018. So she's saying, open to the flow. If you've chosen her, open to the flow, open to your symbolic sight, open to the nuances and the signs and symbols that you're being given all the way around you, and trust in the universal knowledge, in the universal wisdom to take the next steps that are perfect for you. If you chose Rose card 2, she is Rose 5, and Rose 5 was part of that original set that came forward in 210 at the Alhambra. She's actually one of the Alhambra roses, and she sits on the throat chakra. So if you were drawn to Rose card 2 today, she's asking you to reflect on, you know, what you're saying, what your speech. She's a very refined and defined Rose. And what she's saying is that our words have power, our words have a frequency. Once they're released, we can't take them back. The energy note is already out there. And you'll see that, you know, there's this beautiful tip all around the outside of this rose. Very fine, almost tipped with this sort of magenta colour, and yet the back of her petals is gold. And it's like the heart holds that golden field. And then when we speak true from the heart, it's received by the heart. So when that gold energy colours how we speak, how we share our inner truth or our inner wisdom, it's coloured through this. And of course you'll notice too that she's a very rich, luscious rose from her colouring. And the throat is the higher octave of the sacral chakra. And the sacral chakra holds this beautiful, deep coral colour. So here she comes. This sacral chakra is there's that centre of self-love, self-value, self-esteem that comes up, holds that template, holds that chalice that enables the radiance of the heart, and for us to then speak absolutely truthfully and in alignment with our inner knowledge, our inner knowing. So beautiful rose to have chosen if you chose Rose 2. And interestingly, when this rose comes up, she always reminds me of my pranic healing master, Master Choa Kok Sui. And he always said, what comes out of your mouth is more important than what goes in your mouth. You know, first be kind and allow there to be a sweetness in your sharing. So, beautiful card. And if you chose Rose card 3, she is Rose Angel 4. So we've got 2 of the Rose Angels in the reading today. And Rose Angel 4 sits on the Ajna third eye, and is very much the carrier of the jewel of forgiveness. So when we look at the Rose Angels, and you know, as I said with the first card that came up here today, the Rose Angels are the transformers of these 5 wounded places to the heart of abandonment, betrayal, denial, judgment and separation, which sit in different chakras in the body, and they have a note. They actually colour the radiance, the true bright radiance of each of the chakras. So this rose sitting on the Ajna is the transformer between judgment, the wound of judgment, and the jewel of forgiveness. And of course the wound of judgment has lots of aspects to it. You know, we may feel judged externally by another, but we are so very good at judging ourselves. You know, and this is the place when we open to this transformational work, we open to this place of honouring the path that we've been on, honouring those that we have danced with, those that we have had connection with, both in significant relationships, in our families, in our birth families, but also those that have come to illuminate pathways for us and really take us to places that we might not have chosen to go to, but that really open us up to the gift of being able to forgive. Forgive others for an action that may have hurt or damaged us, but also to forgive ourselves for the constant inner chatter that can sometimes shut our flame and cause us to hide behind a mask. You know, this is powerful, transformative time. So if you've drawn, or you were drawn to Rose Card 5, Rose Card 3, and she's Rose Angel 4. You know, I mean, you can see she's got this opening into this depth, and there's a complexity in there. So understanding when there's an energy charge on something, that, you know, we have this opportunity to go inside, to come back within us and ask ourselves, what is the truth of that? Where is that wound still operational in me? And what do I need to do to transform it? And always there will be an element of forgiveness that is being called for. So our 3 roses that have come forward in this time, and as I've said before in the readings, it often, you know, there will be just one card that perhaps calls you, but often all 3 will have a message. And it feels to me that these 3 cards today really work together in this, you know, opening to the flow, really keeping open to the flow, reading the signs, being open to symbolic sight, being open to the triggers, being open to where there's an energy charge, being open to where there may still be a sore place that you're working through. To then, you know, always, you know, wherever possible, speak with kindness but with truth, in honouring ourselves and taking time to refine and define. Hi Ashley, hi. And then to come to this place where forgiveness is the path, and forgiveness really is the only path that we can take that is going to take us into a transcendent place of moving out of the 3D matrix that is the place of this wounded energy, and into really being able to harness the gifts of our journey, to polish that diamond, you know, to be actively working towards this place of being able to be in loving connection with ourselves and loving connection with what's showing up in our lives. You know, when we do that, the heart flame lights further. And it's only when we have our heart flame lit that we can light the heart flames of others. And that's the path, you know, this place of wanting peace in our world, whether that's, you know, in our locality, in our birth families, in our soul families, in our communities, in the greater landscape here. The only place we have to really work is to create inner peace within us. And from that place, that is a ripple wave. When we light our heart flame with the truth and love of who we are, we can light the heart flames of others. And all of us are work in progress. All of us are taking another journey around the onion to find ever deeper places in which we can weed the rose garden, you know, pull out the pieces that are still there. And if we look at the astrology of this time, you know, the Jupiter, the movement of Jupiter into Scorpio, in Western astrology, of course, is a 12-year cycle. So it's really valuable in looking at where you were 12 years ago, what your circumstances were, perhaps what journey you were entering into. And that will, oh, thank you for all the hearts that are going across the screen. You know, the this is the wisdom when we don't get really caught into the drama of the cycles, but actually can have gratitude for what is what's coming up truthfully beyond our wounded pattern of what the learning and the gift in the experience was. So, yeah, 3 powerful roses, and this really feels to be yet another pulse point on this journey that we are taking through the energies of 217, which for many of us is such a catalyst of a year to take us ever deeper into us, into ourselves, into this journey home, back home to self. There is no stability and security outside of ourselves, save what we can hold within us. So, you know, when we can anchor that place within us, we can anchor it for our families, we can anchor it for our tribe, our soul family tribe. And obviously that allows us to embed even more into the energy matrix that is actually our physical home at this point on our journey. So, yeah, what a time it is. So, there are some new classes that you can find on the website on rosealchemy.com. I'm really excited to say that there is a new website that's being incubated that will hold all of the energy and the background of my work with houses. So this inner temple, outer temple place. And of those of you that have, of course, have experienced either the rose classes or the house whispering classes, you'll know that the roses and the rose energy gets woven into the template of the space to awaken and activate the 5th dimensional heart field of the space of your home, which creates this magical template to support your journey as we go into 218 and the new energies of 218. So, yeah, have a look and see whether there's anything that draws you. And also, yesterday we had our Rose Sister Circle here at the Rosie Temple, and I'm really feeling drawn to replicate that as best I can as an online Rose Temple gathering. So there'll be some information on the newsletter as to how you can sign up for that. And the online one will be a global template for us. So just as a finisher here, the rose that's behind me today wanted to change, and she is Rose Bagua 7. And Rose Bagua 7 holds that place of the ancestral wisdom, the ancestral teachers. And she felt like she wanted to honour all of the teachers that have come into my pathway, and you know, all of the teachers that have come into your pathway too. That when we can honour the lineage, when we can honour all of those that have come to show us our shadow, to show us the places where there's healing that's being called for, we are blessed with that journey. So she's really beautiful and powerful having her behind me today. So until next, goodness knows where this journey's taking us all, but with much love and rosy blessings. Bye for now. Bye-bye.